Dehydration is the root of all cravings. It is also, you could also say it is the root of all disease. This is. And I want you to do this experiment. Go and buy yourself some crispy chips, some banana, my favorite is salty banana chips. Now, make sure you're hydrated before. Jesus Christ, it's 11:11. I see, like, I just look here, and for whatever reason, my gaze goes towards this. It's my iPad here. For whatever reason, it goes towards the clock, and it's 11:11. That's the Star Fam confirming that all is well, and also confirming this message. So listen to it very carefully. Get well hydrated. First of all, get yourself like a big jug like this, and drink as much water. Feel hydrated. Feel the saliva in your mouth. Feel the hydration in your throat, in your system. Get well hydrated, and then go and buy some chips, some salt, something salty. Salt dehydrates, and eat it. Okay, and then observe what happens after. And what happens, at least for me, and I think for a lot of you guys, is your cravings begin to go wild. Because you're thirsty, and it's sort of the same signal, actually, hunger and thirst. And most of the time it's thirst, by the way. It isn't hunger. We don't actually get hungry until days after, until the hunger signal actually kicks in. Because the hunger signal isn't in your belly. The growling you hear in your belly is the detox. It's your organs detoxing themselves. Hunger signal is here, and it's very much the same as the thirst. So because you're thirsty, you mistake that for hunger. Now observe what happens. It's pretty funny, actually. Your mind begins to go all over the place. Like, I want to eat this now, and I want to eat that, and I want to eat this, and I want to eat that, and I want to eat this, and I want to eat that. I went to this event yesterday, and I was like pretty fulfilled. Like, I had just eaten a papaya and some tomatoes, and I drank water. Like, very fulfilled, hydrated. Fulfilled, like I was like, all right, well, we're calling it quits today. It quits as in, all right, no more consumption. It was like 5 p.m. Right, and I was like, all right, I'm feeling pretty good here, well hydrated, gonna be good sleep tonight. So I went to this event, and then they served food. They served, very delicious food. It was like vegan food, some rice, some cooked lentils with some spices and salt, some cooked vegetables, some potatoes, and very, very nice. And it was a nice event, and lovely people. I'm not gonna turn it down, of course. I'm gonna eat the food. So I ate the food. And so it was salty and spicy. And after finishing the food, I was like, man, I'm hungry. Which I knew right there and then I wasn't hungry. But my mind started going all over the place. Like, man, I want to eat this, and I want to eat that, and I want to eat this, and I want to eat that. And I immediately realized that it's the thirst, it's the dehydration. And I am mistaking it, interpreting it as hunger, as desire for more food. And I just observed my mind go all over the place. Like, it would be nice to have another plate, and it would be nice now to eat something else, and it would be nice to eat this and that. It would be nice to go for a soup right now or something. My mind just began to go in all directions. Dehydration. So dehydration is the root of dis-ease. I was in a state of dis-ease. My mind began to fly all over the place. Whereas before, I was like pretty peaceful. Like, I'm fulfilled. I was well hydrated. Fulfilled. Like, calm mind. And as soon as I ate that food, and as soon as I felt the dehydration here, which was a thirst signal. It wasn't a hunger signal. It wasn't anything to do with food. I did not need any food at the time. I needed more water. So then I went home. I drank a bunch of water, and I was okay. I was fine. I was like, all right, I don't really want to eat anymore. I'm okay. So try that experiment. Do it yourself. Try it. Go and experiment for yourself. Get well hydrated. Feel this feeling of okay, I'm okay. I don't, and then go and eat something salty or spicy. Anything that makes you thirsty, and then watch how your mind begins to wander all over the place. I want to eat this, I want to eat that, and it's like, oh boy. And it's a vicious cycle, because the more you eat, the more you're dehydrated. The more you're dehydrated, the more you want to eat, the more you eat, the more you're dehydrated, and oh boy. It's a vicious cycle. Most humans, vast majority of humans are caught up in. It's actually, when you think about it, the dehydration cycle, it's like, wow. Like, if people got hydrated, we have a lot more happier, healthier, vibrant, vital people walking around. I'll tell you that. Like, it is actually such a big problem. Dehydration is such a big problem. I swear, if people around the world were hydrated, we'd have a whole different world on our hands. People would decrease their consumption of food by at least half. At least half. And if our consumption goes down by at least half, then we don't need to farm as much land. We don't need to produce as much food. Like, it's serious, people. Like, this is a serious problem. Dehydration is a serious problem. And it sounds like such a trivial thing. Like, really, Saeed? If everyone got hydrated, then a lot of our problems would dissipate or would be halved, would decrease dramatically and significantly. Really? Something as simple as water? Yeah. Because we haven't got the basics right as a species. You see? We got it all wrong. The very basics. What we eat, how we eat, when we eat, how often we eat. These are very basic things, but we got them wrong as a species, as a humanity. We got the basics wrong. Sleep, when we sleep, how we sleep, we got artificial lights all over. We fucked up the basics. So it turns out our solutions are very simple and basic. Also. Humans. You guys know that meme, aliens? It shouldn't be aliens, it should be humans. Because aliens make sense. When you actually channel extraterrestrial wisdom, given that it's of higher density, it's like, wow, it makes total sense. But it's the humans, it's what humans are doing that doesn't make sense. And it honestly doesn't make sense to eat dehydrating foods. Because it's very simple. Very, very simple. Even someone whose connection to prana is completely cut off, they can go without food for weeks before they go into starvation. But with water, your average person is lucky to be able to go on for more than a few days before they are declared dead, medically dead. Of course, we know that if you're hydrated and detox, breatharian, blah blah blah. This is not a breatharian video, okay? So, but that's what I'm saying. Your average person would die in a few days without water, but wouldn't die without food for a few weeks, if not a few months. So that, like, if you're eating foods that are dehydrating you, that are robbing your body out of this basic element, that's ludicrous, that's absurd, that does not make sense. And yet all humans are partaking in this activity everywhere. I grew up in the Middle East. We put salt and all kinds of spices on our food. Come here to Thailand, their food is spicy and salty as it gets. It's everywhere, all around the world. People dress up their food with salts and spices, which further increase the dehydration state. And without any exaggeration, your average person, cigarettes dehydrate, substances, alcohol, weed, dehydrates, smoking of any kinds dehydrates, and yes, even LSD dehydrates. It's one reason why I stopped microdosing, because it was dehydrating me, and when I stopped microdosing, I felt instantaneously the difference in my hydration levels. So virtually all substances that you consume, with the exception of water and high water content fruits, I mean even bananas dehydrate. I ate bananas yesterday, and I had to drink water after. They're like 73% water, but still, there's that, so they're fibrous, and so that fiber that requires to move through your system requires some water too. So virtually anything that you put in your body other than water, or fruit juices, which is basically fruit water essentially, and high water content fruits, and vegetables also, like vegetables are pretty high in water. I'm talking about spinach, lettuce, leafy greens. Pretty much anything else outside of that you put in your body is gonna cause a certain level of dehydration. And without any exaggeration, your average person, it would take them months and years to actually come back to adequate levels of hydration. It's crazy. So once you clean up your body, then you won't feel as thirsty anymore. I follow this guy. I want to get him on a podcast. I actually that's gonna be my next move today, is messaging him. His name is Eli. He's from the Free Melon Society, and he's a fruitarian. He's been eating fruits, I think, for 2 years. He did a 7-day dry fast, and he was working out. He documented it and everything. He was working out every day. He said he didn't get thirsty until the 7th day. But his body's clean. He's been eating fruits only for 2 years. He's been doing quite a bit of fasting, so there isn't as much mucus in his system. The only reason we get thirsty is for 2 things. Because there's mucus and toxins, and the water cleans it out. The other reason is digestion. Like, I ate bananas. Bananas are fruits, but they're on the lower end of the water content, 73%. Watermelons is like 90. Papayas 88. Mangoes 83, 85. Grapes 80 something. So it's on the lower end, and I even had to drink some water after because I got thirsty. That doesn't happen when I eat a watermelon or a papaya. I have no desire to drink any water after whatsoever. So this is a good indication of what you ought to be eating for optimal health. Is it making me thirsty after? So bananas, as good as they are, as wonderful as they are, not the most optimal, because they do make you thirsty. You can experiment on that. Get a bunch of bananas and eat them. You're gonna get thirsty after. Avocado, same thing. Not the most optimal. We're talking about most optimal here, and this is a good indication. If you want to know what is most optimal for my body, what is most optimal for optimal health, is it making me thirsty? Do I have an urge to reach for the water and drink water, or no? And that's why I've been loving doing these intermittent dry fasts, because they're like immediate feedback. Because I do 16 to 18 hours right now, and I've grown to first of all appreciate a hydrated state. So I'm a lot more conscious and mindful of what I'm eating, and it's become such a good feedback. So like today, let's say for example, if I only eat a watermelon and maybe some juices, I know that tomorrow morning I will not be thirsty come the 18-hour mark, 16 or 18, let's say 18-hour mark. Because I've been running these experiments every day, because I didn't really drink or eat anything the day before that is dehydrating or mucus forming. Even yesterday, before I went to this event and I had this food, like I said, I was satisfied. I up until that point I ate bananas, but then I drank water after. I didn't need to drink as much water because there's still like 70% water, 73%. And then close to 4 or 5 p.m. I ate some papayas and tomatoes, which is basically all water, both of them. And I was like, all right, I'm fine. Like I'm just not gonna eat or drink until I go to bed. And then I went to the event, and then I ate the food. Thanks to the lovely people. It was like a Christmas thing, and lovely people. But yeah, and then I got to observe it immediately, and I just observed my mind go all over the place, wanting stuff now. Suddenly, it wants stuff, because it's thirsty. What it actually wants is water. And it mistaken it interprets it as more food, which just further digs you into the vicious cycle. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. So, and I also woke up this morning feeling thirstier. Definitely. And I got some mucus here and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I'm glad I'm on the intermittent dry fast, because they get me to be always very mindful of these things also. Hydration levels, the importance of hydration. And probably, I mean, my guess is a fully hydrated system, a fully hydrated body requires little to no food. You probably won't have any cravings, not even for fruits, if you're fully hydrated. So I believe that 98% of all food cravings are misinterpreted cries for hydration, for water of any kind, whether it's fruits, water in the form of a watermelon, or just plain water. And I put limes in my water. And like today, for example, I woke up quite dehydrated because of what I ate last night. Salty, spicy meal. I woke up dehydrated, and when I first woke up, I was like, man, I want to eat that food again, or man, I want to go for like a soup or something. I want to eat something. Then I made my water. I did a 16-hour today because I'm thirstier than usual because of what I ate last night. So I didn't actually carry it all the way to 18. I drank most of it. This 2 liters here. I drank most of it. I'd say I drank about 1.5 liters. And suddenly now I don't really even want to eat. I observe I don't even want to eat. Because when I woke up, my body was crying for water, not food. But I guess I'm programmed, like most of us are. I'm programmed to misinterpret that signal as hunger as more food. But because I drank this water, I don't even want to eat right now. Tell you the truth, I don't want to eat. I don't even want to eat, because it really is showing me that 99% of all our food cravings are just our body's cries for hydration, for water. So the moral of the story is get hydrated. And whenever you have a craving for any type of food, any food, drink water. Drink water and give it about half an hour to an hour, and that craving will go away. Most likely it will go away. But give it 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Let the body soak in the water and process it, and the craving will subside. And this is a trick I used to do back in my days when I was deep into fitness, and I was really very, very disciplined at the time. So whenever, of course, my food was terrible at the time, right? And I was putting all kinds of spices and pepper and stuff like that, but I disciplined myself. I was very, very disciplined, military shit. And that was a trick I used to do, whenever I got hungry, quote unquote, which was just me getting thirsty. I would get 2 liters of water and I would drink it. And then I would be able to get through that craving. So that was a trick I used, but of course I was caught in a compensation cycle at the time. I would eat all this food, all this dehydrating food, the meats, the chicken. I was eating chicken every day, and I was putting spices and black pepper on it and all kinds of things. And I was like a fiend for hot sauce. And then I would eat this food, and after 20 minutes, I'm like, I want to eat more. I want this, I want that. I'm going to go to the grocery store, get this. And then I'm like, no. Because I was in a phase where I had the military discipline at the time, right? I'd get 2 liters of water, I'd drink it, which is all, again, it's taxing my system, unnecessary water, blah, blah, blah. I was in a compensation cycle. But nevertheless, even when I was at that level of consuming unhealthy dehydrating foods, whenever I grabbed that 2 liter of water and I drank it, I was like, okay, I'm okay. I don't want that food anymore. I'm okay now. I'm good. So yeah. So thank you to the Patreons for your support, for your continuous support. We're up to 31. My God, I love you guys. Thank you so much. If you want to join the Patreon family, there's a link in the description, or a one-time donation via PayPal. You can do that. Saeed Mobayed on Instagram. And until next time, may the force be with you.